By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear understanding of how to use Manus AI for business and personal tasks and know what this AI agent is all about. Now, there is one potential downside that might make you want to consider alternatives, and we'll get into that later. But let's just take a minute to look around the desktop app, which is very similar to using it in the browser mode too. If you're coming from ChatGPT, there are going to be some big differences, but obviously you can see here there's a chat box. And you can just use it like you would any kind of AI chat. But if we click this button here, it says connect apps. You can also do it here as well, connect your tools to Manus. And if we click on this, you'll see something interesting. It actually connects to Instagram. So here it says generate and publish posts, stories, and reels to Instagram. So that is one connection, because this is owned by Meta, that is going to integrate seamlessly into the different Meta products. And I imagine more are going to come here, but it also has Meta Ads Manager too. Now, in addition to that, you can do things like Gmail, Google Calendar, and Google Drive as well. We'll talk about Google Calendar later as we come up with one of our projects. So take a look to see how to connect your tools to Manus. This obviously gives it context, and it can also take actions on your behalf as well. Now here, this is my computer. I'm going to look at this later as well, because this is a really new feature and one that I think is going to gain popularity over time. And then underneath this, it gives you some ideas for what you can do next, including, if you click more, things like develop apps. We'll look at an app in a moment. Create spreadsheets, create videos, create audio. So you can see straight away that it has all these different tools and all these different templates that you can use. After we click Playbook, it gives you all of these different picks here, but then as you go down, you can see all the different use cases that it's suggesting. Now, it's not stuck to just this. You can do a lot more than just this as well. There's things like AI expense report generator, cover letter generator. If we go into creative, we can do things like AI interior design, and sales and marketing, you can do things like sales funnel builder. It's just trying to make it simple for you. And this is actually a good place to start if you want to just play around with it and to see what you can do with Manus. Now, before I go into the other features of this, let's just briefly look at what I've built in the past. This one was an app I built using Manus, where if you type a sentence in, I click check my English, it's going to actually give you feedback on this error. Now, this is a very powerful app that a couple of years ago would have taken a long time to build. This was done in 2 or 3 prompts. And this is just showing the capabilities of Manus and the flexibility of it and how it can just do all these different things. I also asked it to build a landing page for a book that people can download for free. It did deep research on SEO for a website that I own. And then something that I think is really great is you can give it a spreadsheet, and then it gives you this type of presentation. So it goes into the data and actually puts it into something that you can visually see. And it passes out trends as well. So let's just give you a little bit of a taste of what Manus can do. Now, if we just go back to new task at the top, there are a few things to know. Firstly, there are different models. So there's Manus 1.6 Max, so it's going to consume more credits. Manus 1.6 and 1.6 Lite. So this one is for everyday tasks. This one is obviously for more the high performance agent designed for complex tasks. You can see the credits that I've used so far and the monthly credits that I have. So you can always check in to see how much you've got left here. And then over here we have notifications, which is going to give you the updates. So for example, the latest updates, you can control Manus Desktop from your phone. And this is becoming popular with Claude Code and other coding agents too. And then also this My Computer, which we'll look at later. But if we go over here, I've set up a couple of projects. So there's the NC MBA, No Code MBA, and I actually set this up on a recurring basis. Now, with Manus, you don't have to have it open for these tasks to run. So it's going to run on the cloud. And it's going to just bring this in here. So you can see it's been doing it every day. And it's just a daily social media monitoring report. So these scheduled tasks are great because you can decide exactly when you want to do it. And we're going to set up one in a moment. And then with tasks here, just a small tip is that you can filter these, have all tasks. So it's going to show the ones in the projects, or you can go non-project tasks, which I like because then it keeps it a lot cleaner. And you can think about projects as folders, as well as being able to give it more context. So before we go into more detail, let's just do a new task. So the prompt I've written here is to send events perfect for me over the weekend. So you know the emails that you might get to say what's going on this weekend, or you check Facebook to see what events are going on. This is going to scan events in an area and actually make it specific to you. So I say I like live music outside, events and festivals, and anything for children aged 9 to 12. This is for Charleston, but also include the surrounding beaches. Then just some more details. And I've also said, check the weather for those days and suggest events based on the weather. Now I'm going to schedule the task. I'm going to say, run this every Friday morning. Now I'm going to send off this task and know that as this task is running, you can do other things as well. So you can start to even like look at the app that you created and make some changes to it. You can go into your monthly budget and do those things as well. It's just going to run in the background, which is really cool. Now, while that's running, let's have a look at the My Computer. So if we go back to the homepage, go in here and have a look at this. My Computer allows you to give Manus direct access to your local files, apps, and tools. You can organize files, rename projects, and run tasks directly on your machine. So this is very similar to what Claude introduced with Cowork, where it takes over your computer for you. And also note here with agents, you can also deploy your agents for your business and your marketing. The idea behind it is that it's going to run in a similar way to what OpenClaw does. So again, Manus is trying to just get everyone to use this one tool for their AI work. And another thing to note is in library, if you ever want to find anything that you've done in the past, you can find it here. Going back to our scheduled tasks to set up events for the weekend, this has now created this, and it's just given it a longer prompt here. What I'm going to do is say run now, and then it's going to give us this for this weekend. While it's doing that, I want to run a new type of task that I've not used before. And this is to create a video. And all I'm going to do is try one of these just to see what happens when we do this. And you can also think that this is going to improve in the future. And you can use this if you have B-roll or if you just want to create some type of funny video. So usually there is some type of animal one that people like to use. So we'll try this. We'll send this off. And I'm using Manus 1.6 Max. I'm going to see what this actually ends up like. But the idea is that if we go back to the homepage and we have Instagram, is that I can see this creating videos for your brand, especially if you can create that type of brand consistency. I doubt it's there yet, but in the future, this is something you'll be able to do. Now, I just want to go back into the project to say that if you've used Claude Cowork before, this will look very similar. So in order to up the ante when it comes to Manus, you can create these skills. So skills are like specific skills that you can give the AI so that it can get very focused on the task it's doing. Now, these are the official library skills. So for example, professional Excel spreadsheet creation with focus on aesthetics and data analysis. So it's kind of like you're hiring an Excel expert here. Stock analysis here as well. And then there's a skill for a skill creator. And you can create a skill for anything. It could be copywriting, where you give it very specific instructions on how to write the copy. And then every time you do a task within the project, it's going to follow those rules and those skills. Files allow you to give context to the project. So a simple example is you're creating a presentation. You can attach all the files, all the spreadsheets, the emails from your boss, example presentations, anything that gives it context in order for you to create the best presentation you can. And a presentation that's going to be specific to you. And then you can also add instructions as well here. Think of this as like professional tone, always provide sources for important conclusions. And this is something you can do over time. So again, maybe the project is going to be to create presentations for you. You can always add these instructions to say, use these color schemes, use all of this, make sure you use this tone when you're writing it. And anything that you don't like that AI produces, then you can take out. So that's what the power of the project can be. Okay, so this one has now created the video. I'm going to generate it. Oh, quality mode is 600 credits, which is a lot. So you can see it's an 8-second video, quality mode, 600 credits. And we're going to come back to credits very soon. I'm just going to use default mode just to go with that now. Now the Charleston one, it looks like it's got something as well. This one again, wide research will cost 80 to 400 credits for 8 subtasks. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to start this, and then we can also talk about without wide research. But this is important when it comes to credits and the price of Manus. Now, while it's doing that, we're just going to go to settings. What you can do here is see all your scheduled tasks. So I turned off this daily social media monitoring. You can also go into options here and edit the scheduled task too to say, don't run daily, can you now run this weekly? This is where you can also see all your skills, connectors, integrations, my computer as well. This, obviously, you'll need to add your local folder here to run it on your computer, but it can read files, edit files, and also create files for you. And then I'm just going to go to usage. So we can see here how much things cost. So this daily no-code monitoring report for no-code MBA is around 180 to 220 credits. So it changes, obviously, due to how much it has to do and how many credits it needs to do that. The SEO and traffic analysis was around 400 credits. This presentation was only 84. So you can think, okay, that's pretty good. And then the landing page was 127. Okay, so it has now created this video, lower quality. We'll just play it and just see what it's like. I'll stop it there. So it's pretty good, actually. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But the idea here is that you have this all within Manus, and you don't have to open up a new app to do this. So you can think about the use cases here. It could be like a video intro for your YouTube channel, B-roll for somebody as well, or just to create funny videos. So it has now created that report. It took quite a long time to do, which means that it's great that it can do this on a scheduled task when you don't have Manus open. So it's basically given a weather forecast here with then the different kind of events going on Friday, Saturday, and also Sunday. Now, with this one, I would say, could you put it together in a way that's a little bit more easier to scan? So for example, you can think of a spreadsheet or even a presentation where it has the times listed on every one and also the price for it to be. But this is going to be really useful for anyone who wants to know what's going on in their city specifically to them for that weekend. You can also do this when you travel as well. Now, just going back to the usage, this is far too much for what you want to be able to use this for. Because if you look at that English learning app, that was about 200. I imagine that you can prompt it to say use fewer credits, or you can do it in a way where it's going to search one or two websites so that it's not searching the whole web to try and find every different event. And this is important. So keep this in mind, 1,139, because we're going to talk about pricing now. So here we are on the pricing page. And this is going to help you understand just how much it's going to cost for you. Now, just to note as well, before we were using the Manus 1.6 Max. So that does make a difference. And some of the tasks I used earlier was on the regular Manus 1.6 plan. But you can see here, 8,000 credits per month on this plan here is $40 a month. And if you want to bump it up, let's just say 85,000 credits, then you're looking at $400 a month. This one is 40,000 here. I don't see any of the big differences between this plan here and this plan, other than a lot of other apps like this and AI agent platforms like to charge $200 a month. So if I actually go here, 40,000 credits, yeah, it's just giving you the option over here to show you what the difference is. And just out of interest, if we go to 5 million credits a month, that gets to 20,000. But obviously that's just to show that you can actually spend that much money a month if you're using it for many different reasons and within teams. But for most people, 8,000 credits, you might burn through these quite quickly, but it depends on how you're going to use it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to go to the description and watch the video on Claude Desktop because it's quite similar to this, but you might prefer it. So definitely watch that video now.